Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. SikhNet, which is the mouthpiece for this Tantric Yoga Yogi Bhajan organization, has recently published a video on Yogi Bhajan's birthday, which shamelessly promotes Yogi Bhajan's Aquarian Sadhana. Now, all of you know that sadhana is not part of the Sikh practices. The word sadhana is a Hindu word and is a Hindu practice. Sikhs get up in the Amrit Vela and they do their Banis. They chant Gurbani, they recite Gurbani, and do our 5 Banis. But SikhNet, which is disguising themselves as a Sikh organization, is shamelessly publishing and promoting Yogi Bhajan's Aquarian Sadhana. Now, this is where it really gets un-Sikh-like. When you study and research what Yogi Bhajan's Aquarian Sadhana involves. In this practice of Yogi Bhajan's Aquarian Sadhana, there is a chant called Vayantri Mantra. And I put a complete explanation of it in this video, right from the 3HO website. And you can see that it involves chanting this Vayantri Mantra, which, as 3HO and the Yogi Bhajan people describe, is a mantra which was given by Patanjali, who was a Hindu pundit, and this was given supposedly by Patanjali and then passed on to Yogi Bhajan somehow through the ethers or whatever Yogi Bhajan dreamt up. 2,000 years ago, Patanjali was supposed to have made this mantra, or got it from the ethers. And he published it supposedly in his Yoga Sutras. So this is a Hindu mantra, Sanskrit mantra, which is being promoted and chanted by these people over there at SikhNet. Now, I think this is just another reminder that SikhNet and these other Yogi Bhajan organizations are part of this Yogi Bhajan cult. And let's make no mistake about it. It is a cult. And this cult involves the practice of Shiv Shakti mantras, tantric yoga, which are totally against Sikhi. Now, don't be fooled by SikhNet and their people who go around the world, like Guru Mastik and Garuka, who say that they're just promoting a universal Sikhi. This is not true. Sikhi involves following the Sikh Rahat Maryada, following Gurbani, and not all of these made-up practices like Yogi Bhajan's Aquarian Sadhana. Sikhs believe in one God. We do devotional reciting of Gurbani, and we don't do all of this tantric yoga and magical nonsense yogas and man-made mantras that SikhNet is promoting. So just remember that SikhNet, like I said, is part of this Yogi Bhajan cult. Whenever you go and see these people, they may look very nice, they may dress nice, but this is all a show. Don't be fooled by them. I was in this cult for 30 years. Then I read this book by Dr. Shalochan Singh, who spent months with Yogi Bhajan. And Dr. Shalochan Singh really exposed the Shiv Shakti practices and the hidden agenda of Yogi Bhajan to really destroy true Sikhi. Don't be fooled by these nice white-clad 3HO people. They wear a bana, a lot of them, and they take on Sikh names. But there's a lot more going on that's hidden. And take it from me, like I said, I was with this group for 30 years. And I know what their real agenda is. It is to promote and replace Sikhi with the Shiv Shakti Yogi Bhajan cult. That's their real agenda. And again, this video they just published on Yogi Bhajan's birthday, which promotes this Yogi Bhajan Aquarian Sadhana, is just another reminder of their deceptive practices, how they're trying to deceive young Sikhs into following their Shiv Shakti Yogi Bhajan practices. Now, the rest of this video has a lot of pictures and screenshots from actual practices and behavior that's going on there at the Yogi Bhajan Dera. And you'll see actual comments and videos from Gurmustik and Guruka Singh, which I believe promote the dancing to Gurbani and this really un-Sikh-like debauched practice of tantric and Kundalini yoga. So thank you for your time, and I hope you watch the rest of the video to get more inside information on this Yogi Bhajan cult. Now, our Sikh Guru Sahibs told us to shun, to stay away from these tantric yogis. That's what I would suggest all of you do, is stay away from them. Don't get involved with them, because you can get drawn into these cults very easily. Like I said, I was part of it for 30 years, and it took a lot. Only Guru's grace got me out of this cult. Again, thank you for your time. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. There's been a very alarming and disturbing development in the publication of this very disrespectful hip-hop/rap video called Waheguru Satnam. This video has resurfaced and been republished on YouTube to much of the dismay of Sikhs around the world. Now, you can see it here. The person who has republished this says that it will not be taken down and that it's modern kirtan. Now, we all know that Waheguru should be chanted with devotion, sitting peacefully, and being very respectful of Waheguru. This video is the antithesis of that. Now, the original producer of this video, a Francisco Martinez, or A.K. Juan Johnson, has said that he apologizes for publishing the video, and he has deleted the original video that was published on YouTube. But now the video has been republished by somebody. Now, Francisco Martinez has put comments on social media, Facebook and YouTube, saying that he has not republished this video, that his profile has been stolen, and that is an illegal republishing of his copyrighted material. So, Sikhs have advised Mr. Martinez to take screenshots of his complaint to YouTube and post that, so we all know that he's really sincere about trying to get this video taken down again. I have not heard back from him with showing the proof that he's made the complaint yet to YouTube. But anyway, the bigger issue here is that this is all Yogi Bhajan's fault. That Kundalini Yoga students like this Francisco Martinez or Juan Johnson are taking their cues from Yogi Bhajan and the Kundalini Yoga teachers and students like SikhNet and Guru Singh over there, who's the CEO there at SikhNet. They're taking their inspiration and their cues to make videos like this that are disrespectful of Gurbani and that are un-Sikh-like. Now, later in this video, you'll see the actual inspiration video, as they call it, that Garuka made, showing where he appears to just justify dancing to Gurbani. Watch the video for yourself and decide. It really appears to me that he is justifying dancing and carrying on like this while chanting Gurbani. We all know that Gurbani, Waheguru should all be recited with peaceful heart, with devotion, and not dancing around wildly. Guru Sahib tells us this, and we all know this as Sikhs, that this is improper behavior. But the people over there at SikhNet, the Yogi Bhajan disciples, are convinced somehow that this is some kind of modern kirtan. And even the original producer of this hip-hop video, Francisco Martinez or Juan Johnson, said in his apology that there were hundreds, if not thousands of people that wanted him to keep this video up, that did not want him to delete it. I found comments on Facebook from 3HO long-time Yogi Bhajan disciples, and I'll put a screenshot of that comment where this particular Yogi Bhajan disciple, who's long-time Yogi Bhajan disciple, said that Juan Johnson's video was very respectful. There were other comments by Kundalini Yoga teachers who were encouraging Juan Johnson to keep the video up and not to delete it. So this tells me that this is a big problem. The only way I feel to solve this problem is for traditional Sikhs to persuade SikhNet and these people over there that have a voice in the Kundalini Yoga, Yogi Bhajan community to condemn this type of dancing to Gurbani and carrying on wildly while chanting Waheguru. This is not respectful of Waheguru. It's an insult to Sikhi. It's an insult to Sikhs. So, what can you do to stop this type of practice from continuing into the future? Again, write SikhNet. I'll put their address in the description to this video. You can write them. Tell Gurmustik and Garuka Singh to condemn this type of video and this type of disrespect of Gurbani. Stop donating to SikhNet or other 3HO or Yogi Bhajan organizations until they stop inspiring, they stop enabling this type of un-Sikh-like activity. There are lots of other un-Sikh-like activities that they do there with the Yogi Bhajan Dera. And later in this video, watch the entire thing. You'll see many of them. I point them out. Thank you for your time. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.
Came up recently, there was a video of Sanadam Kaur. She was at a concert in Barcelona and there were thousands of people there. Most of those, probably very few of them were Sikhs. And they were chanting Waheguru during that portion of the video, and people were just in joy and moving around and swaying their body, and people And there were all these negative comments, and people were like, oh my God, this is wrong. How can they? And I was a little like, when I saw that video, I was like, I saw something very different. It was this whole, wow, I was so inspired to see so many people expressing this joy of singing Waheguru, and what a blessing for these people who may not ever have the chance to become a Sikh or learn this lifestyle, that they were there and expressing whatever came to them.
Look, the whole universe is dancing. Atoms are dancing. Molecules are dancing. The cells in your body are dancing. The energy is dancing. Everything is dancing. Everything is dancing to the Shabad. The whole universe is moving and dancing. Dancing. Dancing is life. This isn't about dancing. This is about somebody's judgment. Does this mean that as you go up and you become 9, 10 on the holy meter, that means you should always sit absolutely seriously and never move around? Because the more still you sit, the holier you are? You think it's disrespectful to move your body? Look, this is about somebody's judgment about energy in the second chakra. That when you're dancing, there's a juice, there's a flow, there's the energy is moving, right? And in that, there's an ecstasy. If you want to express that energy through your second chakra, and you want to bump and grind and everything, that's how that energy is coming out. But when you act afraid of it, and you say, that's wrong, that's bad, that's lust, this dancing is wrong, therefore, then it becomes all dancing is wrong. Where do you draw the line between good dancing and bad dancing? Between right dancing and wrong dancing? Right? Then you have to say, well, we'll just say all dancing is bad. That's okay. You can say whatever you want. God is still dancing. That's the nature of God. To be moving, to be dancing, to be in a rhythm, to be in a beat. It's the nature of life.
Waheguਰੂ Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguਰੂ Ji Ki Fateh. Many of you have seen this very disturbing and alarming video that has just been produced by a rock band where they're using Gurbani in order to promote dancing and the Yogi Bhajan, Tantric, and Kundalini Yoga practice to be done with Gurbani. Now, as I said, this is very disturbing. Just listen here for a few seconds to this video that is still on YouTube. Okay, I think you've got the idea. Now, what is disturbing is this whole album was released in order to promote dancing to Gurbani. Here is the web page for this group. They call the album Kundalini Kirtanika, which is inspired, I'm sure, by Yogi Bhajan's teachings. They say as much. It says, these are art grooves. Kirtanika emerges a dance venue, pulse, with this Gurbani. It says this anticipated album is be bumping at yoga fests, yoga studios, divinely attuned house parties across the country. So this album is clearly for the purpose of inspiring people to dance to Gurbani, instigating people to use yoga exercises, tantric and Kundalini yoga exercises in their practice of, and use Gurbani with it. So you can here see the list and the menu for the album, and it includes several shabads from Gurbani. I also want to point out here this narrative that was published by the group. And in this narrative, one of the group members said that she was inspired by Yogi Bhajan. It says here, Kundalini Yoga is taught by Yogi Bhajan, drawing us into the movement through mantras, beats, and live instruments. So all of this has been clearly instigated by Yogi Bhajan and the 3HO people. It's really sad to see this has come to this. So you can just stop this video, or I'll put a link to this web page for the group, and then you can read their entire narrative about this and see how they came to practice this un-Sikh-like disrespect for Gurbani. Now, I want to point out here how SikhNet has directly inspired these people. This was a video that Gurmustic and Guruka did, I believe it was a few months ago, where they talk about how it's okay to dance to Gurbani. I'll play some of the clips from that video in a second. But first, just read some of these excerpts that were written down by the Sikh Free Press in an article which explains how Sikhs in India, Surjit Singh and Wake Up Sikhs, have been promoting a petition to stop these 3HO people and SikhNet from promoting this dancing to Gurbani. Guruka says here, he says, this is about energy in the second tantric yoga chakra. When you're dancing, there's the juice, there's the ecstasy. Understand, sexual energy is sexual energy. Waheguru is ecstasy. Waheguru is dancing. It's just really shameful how SikhNet has been promoting and inspiring these type of dancing to Gurbani. Gurmustic here says they were chanting Waheguru during that portion of the video, and people were just enjoying and moving around and swinging their bodies. There were all these negative comments. I saw something very different. He was speaking about this rock concert that Sanadam Kaur was playing at, where she starts to chant Waheguru and everybody started dancing. Now here's more proof about how this group has been inspired by Yogi Bhajan. You can see here directly, this was a message that they sent to a Sikh a few days ago. It says here, this mantra in particular we learned through the Kundalini Yoga tradition as taught by Yogi Bhajan. He emphasized a lot of dance and chanting, thus where this music was inspired. Part of our work, we feel, is to bridge worlds to new audiences and new age groups. Now, they've taken down the video from Facebook, the one where they're dancing, but the one on YouTube still remains. And I hope that this group really considers completely taking the album off the market that they created. Looks like they might do that, but we'll see. We still need to keep the pressure on and keep telling them that this is completely against Gurmat teachings. Now this Guruka really has a history of Biadbi against Gurbani. He actually kept Yogi Bhajan's fingernails in his nitnam, or Gut Gasab. This is complete Biadbi against Gurbani. You can read about it in this article that he wrote, this hanging on his fingernails. So Guruka, SikhNet, really has a very poor record, and we should beware of him as Sikhs of the Guru. I'll play for you a little bit of SikhNet's inspirational video here. You can hear what Guruka and Gurmastik have to say about dancing.
Oftentimes, I hear topics about people talking about dancing and how dancing is something that is against the Sikh lifestyle, against the Sikh way of life. And I've thought about this often, and I've gone through other processes on my own looking at this, and some of it had to do with, like when I was younger and a teenager and I was a certain phase, I went out to clubs and I was kind of identifying with my own self, and I know many people who go out drinking, and people relate Bhangra and kind of like some of the maybe negative sides of some certain things that are associated with dancing as bad. And then when I think about and there were all these negative comments, and people were like, oh my God, this is wrong, how can they? And I was, whatever is expressing their self in terms of the way that people relate to dancing and what is considered something that is good or bad. Like, we might have a child who in the joy, that's like a religious experience for them. Or even, one of the things that came up recently, there was a video of Sanadam Kaur. She was at a concert in Barcelona, and there were thousands of people there. Most of those, probably very few of them, were Sikhs. And they were chanting Waheguru during that portion of the video, and people were just in joy and moving around and swaying their body, and there were all these negative comments, and people were like, oh my God, this is wrong, how can they?
The whole universe is dancing. Atoms are dancing. Molecules are dancing. The cells in your body are dancing. The energy is dancing. Everything is dancing. Everything is dancing to the Shabad. The whole universe is moving and dancing. Dancing. Dancing is life. This isn't about dancing. This is about somebody's judgment. Does this mean that as you go up and you become 9, 10 on the holy meter, that means you should always sit absolutely seriously and never move around? Because the more still you sit, the holier you are? You think it's disrespectful to move your body? Look, this is about somebody's judgment about energy in the second chakra. That when you're dancing, there's a juice, there's a flow, there's the energy is moving, right? And in that, there's an ecstasy. If you want to express that energy through your second chakra, and you know you want to bump and grind and everything, that's how that energy is coming out. But when you act afraid of it, and you say, that's wrong, that's bad, that's lust, this dancing is wrong, therefore, then it becomes all dancing is wrong. Where do you draw the line between good dancing and bad dancing? Between right dancing and wrong dancing? Right? Then you have to say, well, we'll just say all dancing is bad. That's okay. You can say whatever you want. God is still dancing. That's the nature of God. To be moving, to be dancing, to be in a rhythm, to be in a beat. It's the nature of life. The first shabad that a child hears is the mother's heartbeat. Boom, boom, boom. The beat of the heart, the flow of the blood in the mother. And that primal rhythm is embedded in the consciousness and being of the child. So it's music and beat and dancing, all these things are just totally natural part of life. It's just that somebody has made some judgment. This is right, this is wrong, this is holy, this is not holy. Understand, sexual energy is sexual energy. Question is not, you should do it or shouldn't do it. Question is, what are you doing? Are you doing it consciously? Are you understanding what's happening? Are you experiencing it with joy? Are you creating some pain through doing it? Are you manipulating somebody through doing it? All of this is about intent and about understanding the energy of your own body, not about somebody's opinion about what's right and what's wrong.